So I was incarcerated in 2003 in October, so we're coming up on 19 years. I was released in October of 2020. So I've been out for almost 2 years now. While incarcerated, I spent most of my time just trying to be as constructive and positive as possible. I found a lot of hobbies and activities, and as the years went on, I also found a lot of ways that I could contribute to different kind of programs. I became a Pro-Literacy America tutor to try and help other people learn while they were in there. I donated a lot of time to restorative justice and other programs. Once I was in minimum, it became easier because I was allowed to participate in a program that worked with the sheriff's office, and we went out to different colleges and high schools talking about drinking and driving. I did some victim impact classes for people that were mandated a class for DUIs. I tried to do everything that I could. It was truth in sentencing. I was getting out on October 7th of 2020. It didn't matter what I did. But I felt that I needed to do something positive. So when those opportunities were available, I was always trying to volunteer for that. And then my pastimes, I tried to gear it towards things that were as positively constructive as I could find. So I learned how to draw, I learned how to knit. You just learned how to occupy your time in ways that keep you out of trouble, and also ways that keep your mind off of the fact that you're not going home for a long time. So since my incarceration, I'm very proud that I've achieved staying out of trouble and being accessible to my family. And also I've started a business. I've met with members of the community. I've met with the Chamber of Commerce boards. I've had lots of discussions with business people, with various other organizations in the community. I've been fortunate enough to find myself in a business finance situation that is, the opportunities are limitless. Correcting the narrative to me is just a form of educating people on perception versus reality. I think a lot of people perceive us, people who are incarcerated, as a certain type of person until they experience it for themselves usually it's through other family members or actions that they've done, or it might be acquaintances, and they realize that somebody that they know has gone to prison. They're like, well, he didn't really seem like the type of person. Well, there's a lot of people in prison that aren't the type of person that you would think are in prison. It's kind of just showing people that, we are just most of us are just normal people who were in circumstances where we just made the wrong decision. Some people make many wrong decisions, and some people you just make one wrong decision, or you're with people that make a wrong decision. How I embody it every day is when people look at me, a lot of times they're like, I can't believe it. Even my friends that I lost contact with because of my incarceration, when I get out and we hang out, they're just like, I can't believe it, I can't believe it. And I try and show them that it happens to anybody when you're not thinking of it. That's what I deal with that every day, because I tell my employers of my situation when it's appropriate, and there's always that stigma that is attached, and they're like, really, and they can't believe it, and then then they realize that it happens to anybody. If we don't tell our story, who's going to tell it? Nobody's going to go out of their way looking for, what happened to this guy or what happened to this guy. It comes up in a news flash, in a blurb, and then, everybody says how terrible it is, and they gasp at whatever, they see, and then it's gone. So I don't think that there's enough of this end of the communication as far as kind of like closing the circle on the judicial system or the punishment, the crime, whatever you want to call it. There needs to be something at the end to try and make sense of the 17 years that I served. And I think talking about it is the only way to do it. Otherwise, everybody forgets about it.